right, what's up, everyone? Welcome back. We are jumping into the German Shepherd, but it's Superflex. So you will see on the rankings over here, you got a lot of quarterbacks where they don't belong. We're going to be drafting out of the 7th spot. I myself own a German Shepherd, and that's why the German Shepherd is my icon. So, we're going to jam these. And I actually, in my redraft leagues, draft not Superflex, but we play 2 quarterback leagues. So, super familiar with this format, super familiar with understanding where and how to make adjustments with quarterback. In the redraft leagues that I run that are 2 quarterback, it's a little bit different than Superflex, but all the general concepts are the same. So we are at pick 7. I think in Superflex in general, you do want, just like in traditional best ball, you do want one of the first few picks. The Josh Allen, Jahmyr Gibbs, Lamar Jackson, Bijan Robinson tier of players is just those 4. How you evaluate who, where here, it's up to you. But that is a tier of 4 players there, just like in traditional leagues, you have a tier of 2 players with Bijan and Gibbs. So Allen off the board at the 101, not a surprise at all. So hyped they put a super flex back in. I love drafting these, and so we're gonna play the heck out of these while they're open. But maybe we'll get Burrow. Okay, starting with Burrow, you do need to prioritize quarterback. If you're not familiar with super flex or 2 quarterback leagues, you have to prioritize them. They are much more valuable assets than in a traditional redraft or basic format. So you definitely want to prioritize them. I actually have Burrow as kind of the last of a tier. I have Hurts in a tier below. So we're on the clock. We'll pretty easily go Joe Burrow. Now our friend to the left here took Jamar Chase, which they were never going to wheel Burrow, but that's one way to do it. And I think that Chase is a valuable asset. I think some of these positional players are extremely important to have. And so because of that, we actually probably won't prioritize quarterback here, depending on what happens at the back end of the board. If the back end of the board runs at quarterback and we see something like, 8 out of the next 9 picks is quarterback, which may be happening here, then we actually may grab one. Now, you would say Zid to the Zad, right? You should go into a traditional positional player there. However, there are pretty significant tier breaks here. So if one of the guys who is still available that I have in a higher tier, I'd have to strongly evaluate them. McCaffrey, Herbert, that's cool. But there are some later pick guys that I am extremely happy to have in this format, so we'll kind of see. If JT or a Smith and Jigba, because this is still 0.5 PPR, make it back to us, they will be very, very enticing. But that would require both of these folks to pass on, one of these folks to pass on one of the assets. And, well, Taylor goes there. So we will take the JSN if our friend here who took Nakua takes quarterback. If they don't take quarterback and they take JSN, which does happen, we could get James Cook or Amon-Ra. I am happy with them over this tier of quarterbacks. I am going to take my guy James Cook and continue to have way too much exposure to him because just what I do. I actually love with this start Burrow and Cook, and there is a specific name I'll be targeting here at 31 that we'll evaluate when we get there. Mahomes goes off here with Robinson. It's a good little stat. Genty goes to the chase players, so they're punting on QB, which is a strategy in these drafts. Just say, hey, I'll play with whatever 2 QBs. I'm going to go ahead and get positional advantage over the field, which is a way to do it. Right? So as you look at this, you definitely want 3 QBs in this league. Obviously, you want to give yourself an opportunity to have a QB in your super flex every single week. Goff goes there to Gibbs. There's a tier break off right here at Mayfield, Shug, Love. It's independent where you have this, but right after this tier of guys right here, there's a significant tier break to Darnold, Willis, Stroud, Cam Ward. You may say, well, Shug's included in that. That's fine. But these guys are much more elite. So if we do get one of those guys, we'll look at him here. If not, again, there is a specific name I'm looking for. And we'll see if he's available when he gets there. Paraguay taking on France over here. Still a close game. We're still 0-0, 30 minutes in. All right. At the 2 spot, Dart goes to the Allen player. They'll probably pick up a running back asset here or a wide receiver. Yeah, CeeDee Lamb makes sense. Jackson, Amon Ra, I think that's a great start. I think Amon Ra falling there is crazy good value. So we'll see what happens here. They did Kyler Murray. Okay, again, you've got Brock Purdy, Stafford, Love, Mayfield, Shaw do lesser degree. All right, so the three spot, this is another thing you can do, is just go in what's called the bully quarterback strategy, and they'll start taking the position of player. They're just going to get three ready to rock quarterbacks. When you see someone do that, knowing that somebody else may pull this maneuver down here, we probably want to pull the trigger on one. But there is such good positional value here. Such good positional value. And this is kind of the push pull, which is why I love these drafts. Again, the chase player just completely punting. I think we're going to grab one of the positional players here. Henry, Achan, Hampton, or Walker. You know what? Let's go ahead and grab. I've got Hampton and Cook in a lot of these. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab Hampton anyway. Ooh, I got sniped there because I ran out of time and it gave me Matt Stafford. Yep. Once a draft, this happens once a draft. You only have 20 seconds, so I'm okay with that. There was a quarterback that I was going to prioritize, but what's beautiful about this is we're still going to have such good names on the way back through. Drake London, Jeremiah Love, AJ Brown, Trey McBride. Now, I don't think you want an unstacked Stafford here, but worse things have happened. Okay, so on either side of us, they're just ignoring quarterback, which again, that's fine, right? You see two ends of the spectrum here. Drake May, Nick's Purdy, and right is one way to do this. But then you've got the Chase, Genty, Barkley, Nakua, Smith, Chase Brown players who are just going to have such positional advantage over the rest of the field. And then they're just going to pick up a smattering of quarterbacks later. They'll probably try to sneak four QBs. So knowing that, and seeing Shug off the board here, we could look to grab one more quarterback, which we probably will, in our next couple of picks, because after the Bryce Young, Rogers, Fernando Mendoza is not good. It is not good. So depending on what happens to quarterback here, we may actually grab one more here because we still have Darnold, Willis, and Stroud on the board, and all those guys are serviceable. We could also look to grab Hampton if he makes it down, which I don't think he will. I think both of these teams are going to look to double stack running back here. Hurry off, Hampton off. Okay, we'll see what happens. Um, if you look down here, he doesn't need to touch quarterback. They all have two. They do not. These two teams do not. So that's our only consideration. I think the positional advantage here over with like a London, Jeremiah Love, AJ Brown, even ETN to a lesser degree is not that much different than we're going to see later. But I'm okay also saying, hey, these quarterbacks are kind of all they're kind of just all okay, right? These are just all okay quarterbacks. Although I think actually, if we want one of these guys, I think we actually weirdly want Daniel Jones. Um, because we can look to grab Warren as a stacking piece. And well, I definitely did want to take a running back here. I think that the Brown, Hampton, Achan, Henry, Walker tier was better than this tier of quarterback, but spent too long thinking about it, which is fine. That's the beauty of these drafts. They're $5 and you get a ton of entries, right? Um, so it's okay having some spender to this. That put us at a disadvantage because, like, even if you look at like our stack versus what this stack's going to be here, this is still Jeremiah Love or ETN or whoever it's going to be. And look at these three quarterbacks versus ours. So we kind of, Stafford did kind of pinch us there a little bit, but we can stay off quarterback pretty much for the remainder now. Maybe grab one more later, but, you know, in this tier of 55, 56 where we're going to be, you're still going to have insane value, right? Javonte Williams, Josh Jacobs, Devontae Smith, Malik Neighbors, and that's kind of how Superflex does kind of behave a little bit differently because you're now starting to see this positional tier of players come off, and it's like, whoa, these are second and third round picks. It's like, yeah, they are. All right, so Allen, Dart, Lamb, Neighbors, Kieran Williams. That's a great team. The one slot definitely has a great team. Jackson, St. Brown, Murray, McBride. Murray McBride pairing is really sick. Starts with Brees Hall. That's a good team. I don't love the three quarterbacks here. It'll be interesting to see. They should get a pretty decent receiver. Mahomes is probably going to look to snag Rice here. Okay, yeah, they get Pickens. Gibbs, Goff, Love, AJ Brown, Nico Collins, pretty good. Robinson, Jefferson, ETN, Holmes, and Malik Willis. Don't let Malik Willis. The Chase player now will probably have to grab a quarterback, but who knows where they'll go. Okay, they do Cam Ward. Let's go. We're back on the board. We're going to take Javonte Williams pretty easily. So happy to grab him. Happy to get him here in the fifth. That's a pretty sick snag. And then on the way back around here at 66, we're still going to have insane value, right? You're still looking at like T. Higgins, which we compare with Burrow, which is kind of the design here. I'd like to take him. But you still have Montgomery, Flowers, Swift, Tet, all on the board. And then when we come back and swing through the middle, you're still going to be looking at Ladd and Buka, Bashal, too. You're going to have a ton of value here for the next couple of rounds. So if you, I do like these picks. I like the first four picks, I think, in this year's format. I don't mind the back end either, because you just get a really nice set of stacks here towards the back end. I mean, both of these teams have a really nice balance of quarterback, running back here. But the nice thing about the middle is you keep getting this sort of value in each direction. So this maybe there's not a terrible spot to draft from this year. The Herbert Mayfield player goes Loveland to Lave. What's nice about having three quarterbacks is we really don't have to look at another one for a while. All right, we're coming up on here on the 66. T. Higgins goes, unfortunately. You guys know I like Cam. If he falls, we're definitely taking him. Big fan there. DeAndre Swift's also good. I guess the running back value is pretty darn good here. We could also look to just grab Tet McMillan. We'll see how this goes here. Rogers goes off. Bryce Young's already gone there. Interesting the Bryce Young player didn't opt, even with Caleb Williams and Trevor Lawrence, didn't opt to grab Tedero and McMillan there. That's interesting. Pretty interesting. If Cam falls, I guess we're going to take him because Warren is here at 86, so we've got a while. I do opt. Cam takes it. Cam does. All right. I don't think we want one of these quarterbacks. I like all these guys. Let's go with Tet. We're going to get a pretty decent running back on the way back through here for our third. So we'll take Tet McMillan. I think here at 79, we're probably going to be looking at Judkins or Travion Henderson, one of them falling, maybe Bishal Tootin. So I'm happy with any of these running backs here. There's also some good wide receiver value here, Mike Evans and Terry McLaurin. And then what we could do actually is, well, actually, let me see here. Nah, I don't want to look to grab Deshaun or Shadir later unless I have to. What we'll probably do is just handcuff one of these guys. Or do you just grab a fourth? We'll see. Geno Smith, Fernando Mendoza. Bye week wise, these are all three on different buys. Excellent. Pretty good spread so far. Jackson Murray, St. Brown, McBride, Hall, Swift. Like this team a lot. Drake made Bo Nix Purdy. Then they got Love, Pickens, Henderson's pretty decent. Happy 4th of July to everyone. I hear that's firework off. It is overcast down here in what is typically sunny Florida, but that's okay. People are still setting fireworks off in the neighborhood. Allen Dart, Lamb, Neighbors, Williams, Juckins. This is the best team in the lobby. That is a 6 start. Interestingly, though, oh, and Buka, wow. Wow. Because remember, with Superflex, another player can play in your flex spot. So, like, there is that as a consideration. Yeah, we're going to get a great positional player here. Whoever it is, we're going to have really good value. Whether it's, I don't think I want to, yeah, I think we'll take one of these guys. Happy to have either one of them. We actually have Devonte Adams down here. I don't know if we want to reach on him that far. We're at 90. He's not probably not going to fall, but we would pair him up with Stafford. That could be pretty good. I still don't want to reach. McConkey versus Adams. That's 50-50. All right, you know what, the heck with it. Let's go with the stack. We'll get Adams here, and then we'll look to maybe grab Pollard on the turnaround. But there's also going to be like Watson and a Dunze. These guys will be down here. That's fine. Conti won't wheel. I think the Herbert player is down here. Yeah, Herbert player is at the end, so they'll probably get McConkey. So our friend here who started Chase, Genty, Barkley, London, then went with Ward and Geno Smith and McLaurin. I think they're just real far behind here. And the Holmes player only gets Malik Willis and Fernando Mendoza. So I think they're behind too. The Robinson player I think's a little behind. Golf Love, don't hate that. Really strong team otherwise. We're going to be drafting from 90. Now, interestingly enough, instead of 18 rounds, there are 20 rounds in these. So these are a little bit longer. We will probably. Okay, so I don't think Tyler Warren's in a wheel, but he is a consideration here given the fact that we have Daniel Jones. I'm going to say we'll probably punt on tight end like we typically do, but we'll see if Warren wheels down. He may not, but he may, though. You've got Bowers and Loveland both after us here, so we shall see how it goes. But he's right on ADP, like right here, right? Yeah, he's right at 86. We're going to be drafting at 90, so he's going to have to fall like 4 spots. Watson. I don't think the Bowers player takes Warren. This player's behind on wide receiver, and they kind of need him. And there is a good tier of wide receivers, right? We're in that Adunze Watson. Warren goes right there. Um, so we've got Pollard, or we could go out and grab Moore, Tate, or Brian Thomas. I think I like Tony Pollard here. And then on the wheel, we're just still going to be looking at like probably Marvin Harrison or one of these guys. I like JT Dobbins too, but we'll do one of these guys. That's fine. So through 8, we have Burrow, Stafford, Daniel Jones, James Cook, Javonte Williams, Tony Pollard, Ted McMillan, and Devontae Adams. So we do need help at the wide receiver spot. That's for sure. That is for sure. Tate and Tyson goes. The Cam Ward player grabbed Tate. The Shud player did not get Tyson. So they've got Hurts, Shud, and Darnold with Taylor Jacobs, Zay Flowers, Janarian Price, Tyler Warren. Yeah, could be. You do have a traditional flex in this league too. So it's a super flex and a flex, but you only start 2 wide receivers and 2 running backs instead of starting 3 wide receivers with 1 flex spot. So does alter the roster just a little bit. Moore goes off here to the 2. So Jackson Murray, St. Brown, Wilson, and Moore paired with Brees Hall, Swift, and McBride. That's pretty good. It's a pretty good team out of the 2 spot. Do like the 1 spot too. I think they got a great team. Grabbing Tuckercraft here is big. They still have some good running back value as well they can capitalize on here with Demondre, Rico, Dowdle. So it looks like they opt to go with 2 up. Okay, cool. The QBs that are left now, none are worth prioritizing. I don't have a preference for any of these guys, so we'll probably stick with 3 here. I think you do want 4 typically, but I don't love any of these guys, and I'm not even sure who's going to be playing out of the Cleveland backfield. So we'll stake our claim going 3 QBs through 4, and just that'll what it'll be. All right, Brian Thomas off the board. Man, Rico Dowdle does look good, and if we did that, we potentially could just be kind of done at running back. But our wide receiver room is kind of empty right now. So we do have like an Alec Pierce to pair up with a yeah, let's do that. Let's bring up Pierce here. I think this is who we want to pair up with Daniel Jones. And then even on the way back, like J.K. Dobbins might slip, Gainwell, Aaron Jones, Rashad White, they're all fine. And then you're back at Cortland Sutton, Reed, Quentin Johnson. So again, with Superflex with all the quarterbacks going off the board, there's still such good value down here. All right, Deshaun Watson goes to the C.J. Stroud player. So this player who took Puka, Smith and Jigba, Brown, Stroud, Devontae Smith, Stadabo, McConkey, Hubbard now grabs Deshaun Watson. They'll probably grab Shadir Sanders too, is my guess. And they're just going to have one of those because this is kind of wild otherwise. Dowdle and Corum both go. Manungai goes. And I'm cool with J.K. Dobbins. I'm cool with Gainwell, um, Fannin, Laporta, Pitts. I mean, yeah, I guess we could look at Pitts. I think he's going to have a good year, a really good year. But then there's also Cortland Sutton, Jaden Reed, so many names down here. It's pretty, Josh Downs maybe on the turnaround for us. Metcalf goes, Johnson goes, Dobbins goes, Metcalf goes. I'm okay with probably pulling up Kyle Pitts here. I don't have that much of him this year, and I think he's going to have a really good year. So let's pull him up. We'll pass on a few folks here that we like. We probably won't get any of these flag names, but we could get Addison or Godwin coming back around, or Josh Downs, which again, pairing him up with Jones would be great. And if not, you've got Crosty, Merritt, Mason. All of this value seems relatively tier friendly. We could also snipe Shedeur Sanders from the Watson player, but again, I don't know if we need a four quarterback. If we're going 3 through 4, I think we're okay. I think we're totally okay. None of these guys are the guys you really want to handcuff, so I think we're good on this. Again, we have two sort of real nice running back pieces, and depending on how high you are on Javonte Williams this year, which I'm very high on him, it's a great stable backfield. And then we've got Pollard to pair up with that, so we do need another running back for sure. And then our wide receiver room has kind of caught up with McMillan, Adams, Pierce, and probably another one at least through these two picks. And then we do have three quarterbacks, which is great. And we've got a decent tight end. I wouldn't call Pitts an elite tight end, but one of the better tight ends in the league. So feeling good on that. We're going to be coming back at 127. So 127 at worst for us looks like Krosky Merritt, Jordan Mason, Rodriguez, Xavier Worthy, again, Shedeur Sanders, if we really just wanted to pick them off, which I don't think we do. Jacoby Myers, like that's the worst it looks like. And then coming back through, you've got Parasol, Kincaid, and Likely, Golden, Wandell. We'll grab another. So we'll definitely get one wide receiver in these next two. I think some of these running backs are pretty good. If Josh Downs is here, though, I mean, it's going to be hard to pass on him. See who he takes. Wandale Robinson. Yeah, I'm going to pull up Josh Downs. I do like Jordan Mason and Chris Rodriguez, but I think both of them will go, and then we'll wind up with like I don't want Keaton Mitchell. Maybe Tyrone Tracy will fall. Let's see, 135, and we're going to be at what 138? Maybe yeah, maybe Tyrone Tracy will fall. That's fine. All right, so we got Pierce and Downs paired up with Daniel Jones. So if we did Daniel Jones from the first part of last year, we have a nice little receiving stack with him. And Adams is paired with Stafford, so that's great. Burrow is naked, is what it is. Cook, Williams, and Pollard through 11 with Kyle Pitts to boot. So, all right, now we're getting all that wide receiver value coming off the board here. Again, I don't think either of these guys will wheel, but I would take one of them for sure. Take one of these running backs. Think we want another running back here. I don't want to pull Golden up. I don't want to pull Dobbs or Concepcion or Khalil Shakir up. Um, when that's in the range when we come back, right? Like we're almost there, coming back around it. We're gonna be like 151. So those guys are gonna go in here, and I'd rather have one of them slip to us than pull up one of them here. So Jordan Anderson's great value here after Rodriguez, Telsey, and Myers. Like great value on Jordan Addison. This player went McCaffrey, Herbert, Mayfield, Henry, Loveland, Olave, Brissett, JMO, Cora, Manungai, Kelsey, and Addison. Yeah, I like the 12 slot. 12 slot looks good. The Daniels Prescott player ended up going Achan Hampton, Rice, Higgins, Waddle, Watson, Dowdle, Quentin Johnson, Chris Rodriguez, Ferguson. Okay, so they just went double QB and haven't touched it again. That's one way to do it. That's one way to do it, for sure. All right, coming back up on us, it looks like we are going to get Tyrone Tracy. I will this player take? They did not. I mean, we could grab Shadir and then. Nah, let's grab the running back here. So we could grab Shadir and then look to do some shenanigans later. Grab like Concepcion, which actually Concepcion probably won't wheel though. That's the only thing. All right, so there's good positional value here. One guy that I wanna make sure I get is Ray Davis. He doesn't go down to a 191, but with Cook, I definitely want Ray Davis on the team because if Cook goes down, he steps right in. So we may try to pull him up at 186. So knowing that with these picks here, we can look to prioritize wide receiver, which there's still such good wide receivers on the board. I don't want Shakir. I guess some percentage of Shakir is okay. I don't mind these folks here. Coker's just okay. Stefan Diggs, I don't know if he's playing this year, but I've been kind of ignoring him. So Algier's not bad either. I like Algier. Would think about him in here. Cousins is off the board. Okay. So the Jackson Murray player just grabs Cousins randomly. It's cool. Totally cool. Hey, you think Cousins is a good handcuff? I mean, he doesn't have Mendoza, but maybe he thinks there's a shot that Cousins is gonna keep the job if Mendoza underperforms. And Cousins is serviceable. He's totally serviceable in a format like this. So if he's playing. Pacheco and Mitchell off the board. So again, after going May, Nix, and Purdy, Love, Pickens, Henderson, Evans, Harvey, Harrison, Sutton, Kittle. Kittle paired with Purdy is pretty good. Sutton paired with Purdy is pretty good. Dobbs paired up with Drake May. Yeah, it's pretty good. Who's his third QB? Pretty nice. Oh, yeah. So he's got some good stats. Charbonnet off the board. We are on the board. Um, of all these guys, I guess Woody Marks is okay. I'm gonna pull up Tyler Algier. I think he got a good shot of um Davis Ray Davis. This is the second time this has happened. I mean, that's all right. I wanted Ray Davis, but not at that price, considering we would have got him 3 rounds later. Totally cool. Okay, the Watson player finally snatched Sanders. I thought it was going to happen eventually. So he's not Stroud and Watson. I do not love his QB room. He's got great positional advantage, but I don't love his QB room. All right, Ray Davis. Yeah, we pulled you up 4 rounds. No big deal. So now we have Cook, Williams, Pollard, Tracy, and Davis. I think we're done at running back for a while. We really do need to catch up at wide receiver. So coming back to us, I mean, there's also Algier, but I think we're good on the running backs we have. So 162, 175. We go into the wide receiver ish here. I guess we'd be pulling up on any of the guys except for Omar, which is fine. And then 175, we'll get, Boston, Tucker, Flournoy, right on value. Maybe a Jennings to fall. So we'll see. We do need to catch up at wide receiver. We only have 4 of them, but you do start two. So, and on a team like this, wide receivers seldomly going to wind up in our flex when we drafted this heavy into running back. So our Cooper goes there. So do I really want to pull one of these guys up? I guess there's Algier, Carson back. There's also these smattering of tight ends here, which the wide receivers don't get better later. That's the only thing. So I think maybe we do pull one up. I'm okay with that. Boston goes. All right, I'm gonna go down here and pull up Juwan Jennings. Actually, totally okay with that. I mean, Dylan Sampson and Tank Bigsby are both completely fine when we get back around here. They're both completely fine if we wanted to take one more running back. Which, with the 2 extra slots, I guess you can go up to 6 running backs. We'll probably still go up to 7 receiver. We'll have 3 QBs and 3 tight ends, right? That's 6. 6 is 12. Oh, we can go up to 8. Okay, we got extra slots to play with. So Tyler Algier makes it back. Feels good. Maybe Dylan Sampson. That's fine. Okay, with either one of these guys. I just maybe take Tajee Spears too. I don't have any of him, and I do have Pollard, so I could handcuff Spears, and I'm definitely. Problem is, I don't know if Tajee Spears takes over if Pollard goes down, right? And even if I mean, he may, but then is he even productive? I guess yeah. I guess he's fine. I guess we'll take him. I don't think I have any Tajay Spears this year because I just have found him to be a very underwhelming fantasy asset in general. The real Spears. Because somebody else feels that way. Yeah, of all these guys, I think Algier stands the highest chance of being a touchdown vulture and potentially a impactful piece of that offense in what impact the running back will have there. But so I'm not super high in love being a rookie. I don't think there's a ton of run script for um, the Cardinals in general. And you have Tyler Algier there, who is an absolutely powerhouse of running back, right? Like was taking snaps off of Bijan and doing very well with them. So I think he's a good little target to have here. But now we really do need to pick up a receiver. So with the 186, go down here and look. Trey Harris, Antonio Williams, Tesla, Stribling, Jerry Judy. Ay, ay, ay. So bad. It's still Florida on the board. I like him, so we'll see if he comes. Oh, let's say that and he goes. Tight end wise, Hawkinson's still on the board. There's also Sean Tucker. Sean Tucker is another one of those Tyler Algier running backs. But I think we have Cook and Williams, right? So right now we have 6 running backs. If we go up one more, we're done. But we really need some wide receivers. I just don't love any of these names. So let's see who makes it back to us. Hawkinson, Fryermuth. Okay. Harris. Our wide receiver room is kind of cooked, no pun intended, but McMillan, Adams, Pierce, Downs, Juwan Jennings. I mean, we're kind of fried at that position. We really need to pick one up. I just have not loved any of the names on the board. I don't know how many rounds in a row. Is Debo Samuel going to play? You know what? The heck with it. We're going to take Sean Tucker. Now we're really done at running back. And now we're just going to literally take wide receivers for the rest of the draft with some tight ends. Be done. So we'll probably take 3 wide receivers and oh wait, hang on. How many tight ends do we have? So 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. Right? 7-7-3. Yeah, it's fine. 3-7-7-3. Yeah, it works. All right. So wide receivers for us, all the same names I don't like that I've been staring at for I don't know how many rounds. At 199 here. Bernard's fine if he falls. I don't have any Ridley. I don't want him. I'll pull up Malik Washington. I'll pull up Tank Dell. I don't think Ayuk's going to play. Dontavian Wicks is fine. I like him in this range. Helani moving up the board since those reports came out. Ted Hurst. Cooper Cup, I suppose, is fine. Um, let's see. Yeah, Pat Bryant, Darnell Mooney. All these guys are fine. They're all the same dude. Surratt, Corey Franklin, Dory Horton. And none of this stuff pairs up with what we got going, so it doesn't matter either. Suppose we could take Anthony Richardson, Case Jones go down, but he was so hysterically bad in the season before that. Jones go down, if Daniel Jones goes down, this team's just cooked anyway, right? Like that, your entry is invalid. Thank you for playing. You're like, I don't want Sam. I guess Stribling's okay, and I don't have a ton of them. He does. That's fine. Totally fine. We're on the board. We'll take Bernard. You know what? Yeah, let's take him. We'll probably get Wicks on the turnaround here, or Hurst. It's fine. One of those guys is totally fine. Yeah, so we'll grab another wide receiver, and then we'll just grab whatever 2 tight ends remain to be on the board here at 223 and 234. Or actually, potentially, we want to pull one of them up. I guess Tate Otten is worth looking at. Giuseppe, because we have Burrow. Seems good. Seems good. Don't want any more running backs. We're good on that front. Yeah, if Giuseppe comes back just to stack him with Burrow for the 1 week that it makes a difference, might be okay. Drake May, Bo Nix, Purdy. Do they take any other quarterbacks? No, they haven't. Okay. Oh wait, did they? They took back. They did take Carson back. They did take a fourth. They have 4. I'm just kind of looking across the landscape to see if anybody's taking 4. Maybe we do grab just one random one, but if we do that, then we only have 6 wide receivers. I don't think I want to do that. All right. K. Dotton goes. No problem. Thank you, Seki. Feel okay about it. Devo Samuel, unsigned but alive. Hill, Justice Hill goes off the board at 206. So I think in the last couple of drafts, I've wound up with a fair amount of Sean Tucker. And I think just late, like, if this guy just gives you 4 touchdowns randomly over the course of the year, which he probably will, it's pretty good. And if Irving is still injured, he, I think, will do work with Gainwell. He'll do the goal line stuff. Ah, Jaceki gets sniped from us one before. That's silly. That's silly. Well, all right, let's take Dontavian Wicks here, and then we'll just now unflag all of these, and we'll just start flagging tight ends, and that'll finish up the draft. Because when you're taking these tight ends, it doesn't matter which one, unless you really believe in one of them, which I do not. They are all the same. I mean, maybe just as I'm a Bills fan, Dawson Knox, but I don't really feel like Dawson Knox is like that. Like he's not a reliable. He gets a couple of touchdowns here and there, but he's not reliable. So bye weeks, how do we do? I guess I want to check that out. All our quarterbacks are on different bye. That's fine. Our running backs are pretty well dispersed. That's right. A couple of 14s, a couple of 7s, but that's fine. Yeah, totally fine. And our wide receivers are very well dispersed. Okay, so we did draft well with bye weeks. I will say that we did what we needed to do there. I just don't want Parkinson because he's on Pitt's bye week, and I have some Colby Parkinson. And again, these are all the same, so just try and keep it different for bye weeks here, and then we'll just take whoever falls to us. So this is the team. We got Burrow, Stafford, Jones, Cook, Williams, Pollard, Tracy, Davis, Algier, Tucker, McMillan, Adams, Pierce, Downs, Jennings, Bernard, Wicks, and Kyle Pitts, plus insert your 2 tight ends here. Overall, I would give this a very mid grade. I think the Stafford, Daniel Jones was the incorrect value here, but that's okay. I do think the middle of the board is a little bit tougher to sort of draft on, but that's okay. We're going to shoot plenty of shots at this tournament, which is we're going to jump in one right after this, so it's all good. But I think you do want up top. I think that there are much better teams in this lobby. I don't think we're likely to make it out of this lobby, but you never know. It's a long tournament, and these rosters are very large. So I think, there's a couple of teams up here at the top that did very well, a couple teams at the back that did very well. Don't when this zero QB strategy here, where they wind up with Stroud, Watson, and Sanders, I think is going to bite them in the butt. I just don't think they're going to get enough points out of their quarterbacks in a format like this to uh, be relevant. So I think there's that. But all of that to say, I think these are long tournaments and you get a lot of shots. So I appreciate you guys checking out the video. If you liked it, please hit the like and subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next one. Happy 4th.